Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to Disappointment. It's a Tuesday, and we talk about things that happened on Tuesday. I'm Alex, and this is Kate.
It's the NXT Sour Grabs post show for November 18th. Thanksgiving's just around the corner. Alex, there was a rush of gold today. A gold rush, if you will. So many titles on the line. Get in your super chats. Get in your humper chats at humperchats.com. Why humper chats, you ask? Who would name a revenue stream for you guys? Such a foul thing. Well, I'll tell you who. It's Sean Ross Sapp, our boss. He calls them humper chats for matches at hump. So send in your humper chats. Oh my gosh, subscribe to Fightful Select, guys. Like, I don't even there's so much news. There's so much news that happens in professional wrestling. And Sean he reports all of it. He reports all of it. So just head over to Fightful Select. Yes. We had Solo Sikoa's opponent for you yesterday. I was happy because I am a Dolph Ziggler stan and I love him.
Well, I was happy it wasn't Joe Hendry, so we were both happy.
We'll talk about it later, but I was like, why not do Matt Cardona at the Garden if that was the case? And it sounds like Nick Nemeth on Busted Open today was like, I thought maybe they should do Matt Cardona at the Garden. But anyway, we had that info for you because we got all the scoop skis over there. We had the backstage surprises confirmed for you over there. We had that Liv Morgan was traveling to New York. We never said she was going to be on the show, people. But we have that information for you.
There's a lot of things to do in New York. Maybe she was going to see the sights. Maybe she was going to visit the M&M store. You don't know. She was just going to New York.
People don't know Liv Morgan's priorities. Perhaps she wanted the Christmas markets are already up at Bryant Park. She probably just wanted to get some shopping done. They probably sell really cool sneakers that she would want to buy, like at one of those Bryant Park tents. Yes. But we had a lot more news for you on Fightful Select. We had Sean's Q&A. We had information from Corey Brennan on Bushi and Naito's WXW cancellation and the new assistant that was involved in making that whole thing super shady. We just, guys, all the news. So much of it on Fightful Select. Subscribe, $5.99 a month. You can also gift subs. So, like, if you're a wrestling nerd that appreciates and loves Fightful, why, we love you very much. But if you have other people in your life that are, and you're like, I want to get them all the exclusive news with incredible clarity and paywalled entertainment and access to a Discord of wrestling fans, by golly, you can gift it because people don't want to pay for subs right now. So I'm just saying. That's what's up. But we got all the news back there. All of it. All the news that's fit to type in wrestling. Also, Alex and a puppet yell every Monday, so subscribe for that.
Yeah. Well, no, the puppet had to go away for a while. The puppet was bringing out the worst in me. So the puppet had to go away for a while, and then also the puppet's voice doesn't work when I'm sick. So we had to figure out something else.
Are you anti-puppet?
No, I'm not anti-puppet.
It's been a while since we had dramatic Kate.
Yeah.
So
it has. It's so dramatic. It's as dramatic as this episode of NXT was. I had high hopes for this. This fell short in every possible way.
I actually didn't hate it as much as you. I mean, no one's gonna hate it as much as you because you're a legend.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I actually, as someone who's been starved for hot potato title changes, and as much as a Tater fan as I am, I kind of don't hate what they did with it, depending on what their exit strategy is. But we're going to talk about all that and more.
Well, you know the strategy is going to be terrible because it's them. They're whatever they do coming out of Izzy Dame turning on Tatum Paxley, preventing her from retaining the title. When you could have, it's man, Izzy, you're such an idiot. Izzy, you're an idiot. Your character, the character that you are playing, is a moron. You could have easily just, after you helped Tatum retain the title, you could have said, hey, Tatum, since I'm your best friend, why don't you give me a title shot? And then used your friends, Ty Dillinger, and whatever the hell his other guy's name is, to help you get the title from Tatum Paxley. But no, you had to do this dumb thing, creating an extra step for you to get through. And now Jacy Jayne is a 2-time women's champion, which only 3 other women have ever been. And that doesn't make a lot of sense to moi.
Well, if Jacy Jayne is going to be here for 5,000 years instead of getting called up for some reason, I don't hate that she
be on the main roster at some point. I don't know why she loses here, and then her stablemates lose next week, and you can send the whole lot of them up to the main roster. When Charlotte turns heel, she's gonna need other people. They'll fill in behind her. It's perfect.
You are inspired by my internet this past month or so, and honestly, I'm honored. But I, out of instinct, think it's my internet because I'm so used to my internet being so bad. But you're a little Chop City over there. But we're gonna work through it. I'm gonna pull up this super chat.
You are a robot to me. So I don't know who. Chat, is it me or is it Kate? So if it's me, then I can't, there's nothing I can do to make it better. So I will quit the show if my internet is bad. I will not do the show for the rest of the evening. I will leave and I won't do this anymore. I hate wrestling. WWE has made me hate wrestling. So if my internet is bad, I'll just leave. Because why wouldn't I just leave? I hate this. I hate all of this. This makes me sad all the time.
I don't want to do this anymore. Rigged his internet so that he wouldn't have to talk about this show. That's what I think. Oh yeah, you're real bad, buddy. Well, Alex has quit, but when one Alex quits, another Alex emerges as a wrestling writer. So right now, this is just Sour Graps with Kate. We're going to start with some super chats and number chats. We've got my dad chiming in saying, greetings, SGS, a wondrous group that definitely doesn't suck. Looking forward next week to a festive Elizabeth Pringle family Thanksgiving. Yes, I am very excited for Thanksgiving. Oh, now I'm blurry. Come on now. Something's got to work in these parts. Come on. Cresta taught me this trick to make your camera unblur itself, but now it's not working. It's like all the TikTok girlies do to unblur themselves. But my dad chiming in as always. My dad notoriously does not watch wrestling, but is always here to support, and it's very much appreciated by his younger daughter, who has always gotten him into hobbies that he didn't always start with. My dad followed baseball, but was not like a baseball guy. But at 9 years old, I was like, you're going to be a baseball guy now because I'm obsessed with the New York Yankees. So that is how that has gone. But thank you, Dad, for chiming in. I'm also looking forward to Thanksgiving. Alex is looking much, much smoother back there. Tim McFowle saying, after last night, it's especially good to see Kate back with Alex. He needs his bestie to keep him from rash decisions. Hasn't worked so far since he quit. But can we talk about Mercedes making eyes at Saya's title on X instead of NXT? Well, we do have to talk about the show that we review. But Mercedes, legendary run. Look, now we're both here in HD and clear. We're rocking and rolling. JW Pringle says, I will keep your company, sis. Who's making the turkey this year? Much love to Papa Paul and all the SGS. Well, not the vegan, but I excel in the sides department. Tom LaValle saying my blurriness is a filter. All the cool kids are doing it. Well, thank you so much. I guess I'm a cool kid for literally the first time in my life, but that's fine. But kind of all over the place with a lot of stuff. But we'll get into it all and more. There will be rants. There will be puns.
Gold puns, things that are made out of gold.
Gold. All that glitters is gold. I would even take silver or bronze puns, like if we just wanted to do a metallic across the board.
Metallic puns.
Metallic puns.
No.
Either legendary metal band.
Oh, hey, great. I have one. Joe Hendry. Enter Bland Man. That's a Metallica pun. Good. Awesome.
You keep my favorite closer's theme out of this, okay?
Here's one thing. Here's something from Jim Dukers. This is true. Oba's back. Nothing else matters.
Yeah, so calm down, Alex, because Oba's back.
Oba's back, and
he is back.
He's the best.
He's the savior. You were quitting. Your internet was quitting, and Oba was actually, I'm the ruler, and I'm back. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be.
And he's shirtless now.
Shirtless.
Shirtless Oba.
Shirtless. Somehow even more jacked and meaty.
Hold on.
Time around.
Shirtless, hair down, wrist taped, jeans. He's just street fight Oba. His now. This is what's funny about Oba is that before he had honestly the best fashion sense of anybody in wrestling. Before
it's true.
Some of the shirts he wore. That one time he wore that Sherpa lined leather jacket. He's great. But now he decided, no, new Oba doesn't require your sartorial flair. All I need is just me. Just the naked human torso, some wrist tape. I'm gonna let all the dreads flow, and then some jeans. That's all.
Do you know what I think happened?
What?
I think he spent so much time in the gym that he went to put on a regular shirt, and then none of them fit. So he was like, I literally can't fit into any of my clothes. I have to walk around shirtless because I'm even more jacked somehow. Yep. Mm-hmm. But no, he's a very welcome presence in still what's kind of a thinner men's division. I think is fair to say they're doing some work on it. They are starting to build it up a little bit. I'm very intrigued to see if Santana ends up moving to NXT, as TNA talent seem prone to do these days.
Man, oh man. So should we talk about that first, since NXT barely talked about it, and it seems like a major deal that you and the other company that you're partnering with decided to do, and then to only have Ren go, hey, weird, right? And then they move on with it, some backstage segment. It wasn't I expected. When an absolute cadre of all of your lower mid-carders take a bus to TNA and then pile into the arena and take out their world champion, I expect there to be a highlight package on NXT about it, but they didn't show one.
Sure.
This is a major deal. Ava was there. Wasn't she doing a thing we are I believe Santino was we are best friends now. Ava and me are best friends now. And then Ava's people came in and took out Mike Santana. And all we get on NXT to even mention it is just like Kendall and Ren being like crazy, right? Anyway, this could not matter less. Let's move on. Like, that was weird.
Alex, everything's going to change when they land this huge AMC deal, I'm told.
Wow,
but,
man.
reported by John Alba, not us.
When I think of American movie classics, I think of TNA. TNA. I mean, they are The Walking Dead. Brain dead. Considering the decision they made with Mike Santana, they would have to be walking brain dead. So that's good.
John Alba reported for SI, and his information is usually quite accurate, and particularly for TNA is very accurate, that they're the leader in the clubhouse. So I didn't want to misrepresent that like a deal is done or anything like that.
No.
But
if they keep making Breaking Bad booking decisions, we'll have to see what
Alex,
AMC
we
puns.
have a pun topic. You can't just run
puns.
away.
I'm getting rid of metallic puns. AMC puns. Find like all them great AMC shows.
We are calling an audible mid-match here. My God.
You know who is a madman? Me. This guy. I'm a madman. Me and Santana, we're both mad men. We're very mad.
Since we're just spitballing about this whole TNA thing, they have like so many. Hey, I was already working on metallic puns. We're never gonna not take your money unless you say something way out of line.
No.
Just so you know. The TNA partnership, like I've said this several times, I always love invasion angles, and they quite literally never work. Like none of them have ever been good in the history of wrestling that like I can remember. But this one is like beyond. They had an entire showdown, Alex, to resolve this. The showdown ended in a tie, and then they continued this.
Well, that's
like
the problem here.
I don't get it.
Kate, if they had just done the invasion on a different date other than October 7th, they could have called it invasion, and then it would have been an invasion. But instead, it was a showdown. And as we all know, showdowns are much less than invasions. And now they have to have an invasion. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem.
Well, and I mean, you can't do a showdown without Bob Barker, obviously. So it's like, what's the point? Because if it's not a showcase showdown, I mean, if there's not like an orange podium with a skinny mic where people are betting and a purple podium with a skinny mic where people are betting, it's not really a showdown.
No.
But this has been like, I mean, laughably bad. And to see Ava go over there and be like, yep, we're partners. And then everybody like mostly Evolve talent too, attacking the champion. I mean, I'm like, did you turn Ava heel on that show only? Like, it's bad. It's bad creative.
Because I refuse to watch TNA. And listen, the decision they made with Mike Santana, vindicates me entirely.
You weren't like, now I should tune in.
Now I should definitely tune in. So I deliberately did not.
Perfecting me.
I deliberately did not seek out the film of the event.
Sure.
Right? So I don't know if they were mostly Evolve guys. The people, the NXT talent that I heard about was Charlie Dempsey, Lexis King, Stax, and High Rise. If there were Evolve guys that went also, then I didn't know about that.
I could be wrong. It would not be the first time. It won't be the last, especially about TNA. If there's anything I'm going to be wrong about in wrestling, it's probably going to be TNA.
I do just love that. Like, I mean, when we're kids, usually if you get a bunch of toys, you don't keep your different action figures like separate. They're all in the same big bin or whatever. and I'm going to reach in and play with the first few things that I pull out. So it's a G.I. Joe, it's a Thundercat, it's He-Man, you know what I mean? It's a random thing your grandma got at the dollar store, and then they all play together. And that's what this felt like. Like somebody just reached into a box full of NXT action figures and got Charlie Dempsey, Lexis King, Stacks, and oh look, High Rise. Perfect. Like, what do these guys have to do with anything together? And Lexis King and Charlie Dempsey spent the better part of 24 and 25 as mortal enemies. Charlie Dempsey and Lexis King fucking hate each other. Yes. Now they're friends because they both decided, along with Stacks, who is the future son-in-law of the guy who runs NXT. He also showed up, and Wesley is now Desmond Xavier in TNA. And so Tyreek and Tyson, High Rise, both missed Wesley so much, they decided to hitch a ride and go there and say, while we're here, do as the Romans do. And so they decided to run in and help and attack Mike Santana as well. Why not? Why not?
It's just so funny that they were like, we're not going to take... TNA was like, we're not going to take this, all of our titles being on this other program. In a week from now, we're going to show up after we've already tweeted about it.
The Beach was part of it. Oh, perfect. The Beach. Just perfect. Think, if you hadn't been kicked out of the group by Izzy Dame, you could have stood in front of Tatum Paxley tonight.
It's true. Isn't that? But like, just to recap this, TNA talent got so mad about their titles being on another show, they tweeted about it and then showed up a week later during a main event while everybody already saw them backstage.
Yep.
They then named the NXT talent / TNA Knockouts champion that they just gave a shot to win the title to, the leader of the women's team, and the TNA men's champion was the co-captain of the NXT team. So then we jump from the showdown to this, and we have NXT talent, I guess, so mad that the TNA title was back on TNA, they had to come after it. I don't know if they're aligned with Frankie Kazarian. I don't know what any of this crap is, but I do know it's really bad, and I do know they had a moment with Mike Santana over the summer to crown him champion appropriately in his hometown after an exhaustive build. They staved it off for Bound for Glory. They had him win at Bound for Glory. They immediately went into not taping for a month. He didn't defend it because they weren't live for a month, and he loses it unceremoniously to Frankie Kazarian, who, God bless, is doing great work and is appropriately aligned with the TNA brand, meaning he's won every title there but this. Now, Fightful Select has reported that several contracts are up at the end of the year, in these late months, at this part of the year, blah, blah, blah. Imminently, we'll say. If Mike Santana is one of them, and NXT is like, yeah, no, we want him on our show, this is going to be as laughable as it was with Joe Hendry, because they did this with Joe Hendry. They waited way too long, and then they lost him. Like, it's I don't understand it. I don't think NXT and TNA know, in a kayfabe sense, if they're in a partnership or if they're at odds with each other. It seems to just change from show to show, week to week, which is not exactly how you want these things to go. No. You should know very much if your companies are aligned or at odds, at minimum. Yeah. At minimum.
I think the NXT would be fun if they treated Mike Santana the same way they treated Joe Hendry at the beginning. Give him his own private entrance into a battle royal and then eliminate him first. Like, that's what they should do with Mike Santana, because that was a great start to Joe Hendry's time in NXT. He's definitely recovered from that, which leads us directly into the first match of the night.
Hey, we should start reviewing the show 25 minutes in, I guess.
Ethan Page and Chelsea Green retained their AAA mixed tag team championships because Thea Hale had Jacy Jayne in a Kimura for, I'm going to conservatively say 4.5 minutes. And then Ethan Page shoved Joe Hendry at the two women. He glancingly rubbed against Thea Hale, and she was so knocked out and loopy that she just stood there like this, waiting for Jacy Jayne to hit the unprettier. And then she did, and then she lost. Okay. I don't know what I'm like. I think that Ethan and Jacy are a really great act together. I'm vehemently opposed to cross branding. Send Ethan Page to SmackDown. I don't care if he beats Ilya Dragunov. That's fine, whatever. Because I don't watch SmackDown anymore. It's terrible. So Ethan Page can be a mid-card champion there with Jacy Jayne, who's a mid-card champion there. They've decided that the women's mid-card championships shouldn't have good wrestling associated with them. We have one on SmackDown who's a good wrestler, but actively avoids wrestling wherever she possibly can. And then on Monday, good luck. So yeah, so that's fine, whatever. I think they're a good act. I think Ethan Page is beyond ready for the main roster. I just don't understand why we're like doing the thing where we're jumping back and forth. That doesn't. You could easily do more and better stuff with this pairing. All of the stuff they're doing, the act, if they were on one show and you could devote a lot more on that one show. This is fine. The Thea Hale and Joe Hendry thing, it's frankly never made a lot of sense to me anyway. I don't know if they're continuing, do they get another shot at the titles? Like listen, Joe Hendry got pushed onto Thea Hale. And because of that, she had to break the hold she had on Jacy Jayne.
Biggest push he's had in NXT, am I right?
Nice. Jacy.
That was funny. I'm funny. No, that deserves more of a moment. I deserve that.
Jacy didn't cheat to win. Thea Hale got pinned clean. There's no reason to do a rematch. They probably will because they're creatively bankrupt. But there's no reason to do a rematch. But so is the Joe Hendry and Thea Hale thing done? I mean, it's not for me, but the people for whom it is seem to love Thea Hale with Joe Hendry. So I don't know what we're doing out of this. Are they doing the mixed match challenge again? Whatever that is, that thing.
I think Thea Hale is going to be John Cena's last opponent. That's what she's sneaking into this tournament. She's going to take someone out.
I think it's right. I think you're right.
I say week over week that I feel like Ethan Page's versatility is his strong point. Meaning, from a character perspective, he could be comedic, he could be vicious, he could be, I hated it, but he did it well enough, chicken shit. He could be all these things, right? He also has that versatility in who he's facing. You put him in a lucha environment, great. You put him in a mixed tag environment, great. So he's checking all these boxes, and I think maybe the thing that he's most versatile in is put me in Impact. He did well in Impact. With the North and a tag team, he was great. You gave him the stretch that he was consistently on in AEW with Men of the Year. He was great. The face run in ROH was really strong. NXT, I don't know what more there is left for him to prove, but my thing, Alex, is it's not that they are doing this program across 2 shows. It's that they're kind of doing it across 3, right? These are not belts that are even of this company. So I think that is also stretching it too thin of main roster NXT and their AAA belts realistically, right? So the alignment also kind of just happened from the perspective of Chelsea just regained the women's US title. I think this should be the gateway for Ethan Page to the main roster. I don't know what else you want him to do around this place, except for lose his title and put someone over on the way up. But like, he's someone that I felt like I knew coming into NXT, he was already main roster ready. I understand why you didn't just throw him to the main roster, but I was like, he's going to do great in this place. Him and Chelsea are a great act, and in the mid card, I think he could do some really, really, really good work. I think I just don't know what more you want to see from him that would like keep him in NXT other than who's the right opponent for him to drop to. So I'm hoping this is how he moves on up. They're a great duo. Match was fine. It was kind of a dumb ending. Thea is very good at matching Joe Hendry's freak. I don't understand why she got put on Evolve at all. Like unless it's injury related and she's training or whatever, and that there's some differential in that. It feels like her lack of momentum was completely caused by the lack of booking that was there for her. So I'm confused about that. And part of the reason that I don't like that is because Evolve talent make less than NXT talent. And that feels like they were like, well, we'll just pay less for the same person because she's getting more NXT reps now that she's an Evolve talent than when she came back from her injury, quite frankly. So I don't love that. I don't understand the step backwards because I think she understands what they want her to do with what she's given pretty much every time she goes out there. So the duo works. All of the like silly stuff she knows how to make work. It isn't so much for me, but like you said, like it's for this environment. It's for a lot of other people, and it's clicked. I don't know where they go from here. Fightful Select did report that Joe Hendry is now officially under WWE contract, so maybe this was just a program to buy time until that was all official. He has merch now. We'll see where it goes, but decent enough match. The only thing too with this card was like the only title that changed hands was the only one that realistically had a shot at changing hands. So I kind of knew this was going to be the outcome, which for Gold Rush, like there's not a lot of excitement when you know the outcome of pretty much every match.
Yeah. So Ryan Ben says, what does it say that Chelsea did more wrestling tonight with Thea than against Julia in the U.S. title match? He then adds, damn this company. It says that they don't view the mid-card women's titles on the main roster the way that so many wrestling fans viewed them. Oh, great. We got some workhorse titles for the women. Because like Liv Morgan, although she can wrestle, when she was the women's world champion, the world heavyweight champion, it was all about, I would like to not wrestle as much as possible. And also, have you met my boyfriend who was the main character in my story? Like, and so for a while, when they introduced these mid-card championships, we were like, great. There are great women who aren't going to sniff the real main event scene, who you could put those titles on and let them have really great TV matches. And they said, no, that's not what we're doing. So they would rather have Chelsea be a great character. Again, and also Chelsea has the ability to be a fantastic wrestler. Her character doesn't wanna. That's the whole bit. So, they'd rather it be on somebody who's a big character who doesn't have to wrestle to get over. Julia has to wrestle.
Yeah.
And they don't want to let Julia wrestle, as evidenced by the fact that she won the title in June and then defended it twice until November when she lost it. So, it's dumb, but that's just the way it works.
Well, it's putting a square peg into a round hole, meaning like they have this idea that the women's mid-card title has to be this character-driven thing that mostly serves stories that aren't about the mid-card title, for the most part, right? Like getting into tag programs or tag programs filtering into it or whatever. Like Julia is someone who gets over on matches, but they decided like, no, she needs a manager and she needs to do all this gimmicky bullshit instead of do the thing that gets her over, which is wrestle. Credit to Shawn Michaels. He understood that the way you get Steph Care, Julia, Roxanne, Jordynne Grace over is at least the wrestling aspect. Like, and the screen time is there for it. So look, when I saw the announcement that SmackDown was going back to 3 hours, my reaction was not, oh, awesome, another hour of SmackDown and I get to start a review at 11 p.m. Eastern. I can't wait. That was not my reaction. But what I will say is with SmackDown specifically, that hour was frequently used for a lot of nonsense, but we had more women's matches and we had more tag matches. And since it went back to 2 hours, it's not like they cut the fluff out instead. What they cut was women's matches and tag matches. So it's a really, really, really disappointing mid-card picture because like people forget how lost Lyra's reign was until the Bayley Becky stuff. Like she was constantly contending for other titles too. So it just sucks. And it's so unfair to Julia. And it also makes you wonder why they called up a bunch of NXT's best women in one foul swoop like that if they weren't going to actually do the things that work for them. Just silly.
So yes, the Thea and Joel, at least for now, versus Ethan Page, Chelsea Green thing is done for a bit. Triple A announced that Team Canada is facing Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice for the titles this Saturday at a Triple A event. I guess they must have announced that after this next segment because Lola Vice should have mentioned it during the segment because, they're like, hey, here's this person who we were supposed to like, Lola Vice. Oh, by the way, I have a match. Tune in to watch me do it. But they didn't mention that during this thing with her and Jordynne Grace about Kalani and how much Kalani sucks now. And then Kalani shows up and like, jealousy does not look good on you. So this is what we're doing with Kalani. Man, it really feels like they've got a lot of plans for Kalani right now as the TNA Women's Champion. Like they've really made her into a really important character. And so it seems very obvious to me that like Kalani is going to breeze through this triple threat next week and then go on to have a very long title reign. They've got a lot of there's a lot of meat on the bone, if you will, with this Kalani storyline and character. Like that, so I don't think there's a danger at all that her title reign will end before 2027. Like she's got so much longevity in this title reign. Anyway,
they announced it before this segment. I would like for them to give Lola Vice a character at some point. I think she's great in the ring. I actually think she knows who she is in the ring. But man, dude, they just give her the most. Like iStock doesn't have stock photos that are as much of a stock as they give her things to say. Like I just I don't get why they can't give her anything other than being Latina. If you want to incorporate that, that's great. But like that is the extent of kind of who she is. And I think there's something really special with her, so I want them to figure that out. But like she does, I don't feel like she's motivated to fight anybody or for any title ever. Like I feel like she's just put in matches. So I really wish they would flesh something more consistent out for her. I will say this for Kalani, her delivery has been more natural the past 2 weeks as a heel than it was as a
lot
face.
better than the first one,
Yeah, much more so. The crowd also didn't just like zox out for her, but like even when she was a face, I'm not even talking about that first heel promo, but she was just kind of like very forced. This is much she sounds conversational, which is good.
Like it's really, if you look at since she became the champ and turned heel, like the time that she has spoken on NXT, it's almost like she's really just settling into the role, which is great because she'll have so much more time as the TNA Knockouts champion to like settle into the role even more for this really long title reign that she's gonna have.
I don't
like I mean, like the first promo was rough, and then the second thing that she did last week was better. I think she's really starting to settle in for the long haul.
I just, Fightful tries to be spoiler free, but I don't know if we should be predicting lengths of title reigns. They might be longer, or they might end so quick it feels like they already ended at a taping of some sort. I don't know. I don't know. But FightfulSelect.com will know. I can tell you that much. So also, just like the internet will spoil everything. So if you want to know, sarcastic Alex is freaking out the chat, and I love it. They're like, I don't know about this.
I haven't said anything. I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Alex, you know what? All I'm saying is I wouldn't put my money down on such a thing. Like, I would not place bets on the length of this title reign. But darn it if I was going to, Alex. If there was ever a place that I would put my money down on pro wrestling, do you know where it would be?
It would be with your bookie.
It would be with my bookie.
When my bookie AG says that you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, they mean it. Not just pro wrestling. We cover MMA. You can bet on that. Boxing. You can bet on that. We've got gaming. So do they. They got live esports. But it doesn't end there. You want to bet on the Oscars? That's where you go. My bookie AG. Or maybe you just want to bet on the traditional things. Sports, NFL, NBA, NHL, all that good stuff. They have the best bet back bonuses in the game. Right now, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or $100 bonus when you deposit $200 with our link in the description below. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. But check out MyBookie AG. They got the best support system in the business. They've got live casino games as well. And truly, the ability to bet on anything. Great contests for specific sports. And, of course, betting on pro wrestling. MyBookie AG.
If you were to look at a transcript of this show, I haven't said anything.
You haven't said a word.
No.
You haven't said a damn word.
No,
in fact, this is all of you
inferring. And you know what happens when you infer. You make an in of you infer. So
it's as the old saying goes.
As the
chat
old
thinks you're American
saying goes.
I also love this, by the way. Someone asked what the pun topic was, and Alpha Bill said gold/metal/Metallica/AMC pun, and then later said, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, because it's true.
Ted also says, I need to come back to Mondays. Alex needs you. Hoping for a Kate Returns graphic in mid-December. That looks to
we're hoping for
to be when I will be back. Dante saying that you remembered when puns were meant as well, which I like. It's
true.
A good time.
So there was a segment backstage where I legitimately thought it was Sol Ruca saying to Zarya, I don't want you at ringside. I got to do this on my own. But it was Zarya being like, are you sure you want to have the match at all because of your knee? And Sol being like, no, I really need to do this. I need to get my title back. And I feel like it should have been the first thing, the thing that I thought it was originally, because if it had been, we wouldn't have whatever the hell we had. So here's the deal. I hate AI. I hate it. I hate it. Just I wanted to be like, so Zarya cost Sol Ruca the match by throwing in the towel. We'll talk more about that in a second. But I was like, man, I feel like I've seen a lot of throw in the towel spots. I mean, it's not a lot, but it feels like a lot. How many is it? So I was like, let me go ahead and Google to find like news articles that mention NXT and the phrase threw in the towel. And the only one that came up was one that was about the match tonight. And I was like, I know for a fact there have been more than that. Are you saying you can't search that far back to find it? Because I know there was one this year. And then I was like, no, I remember 2 others specifically. So I'm going to use your little Google AI bot that's going to help me find things. Come on, help me out, AI. So like, what were all of the times where an NXT wrestler has lost by somebody throwing in the towel? And they told me only one has ever happened. Not the one tonight. But your other function within the same search engine could only show me results of tonight. And the other one they showed was the one where Andre Chase threw in the towel to stop, to cost Thea Hale the match against Tiffany Stratton in 2023. And I remembered that one, but I was like, I know there's been more than just that one. And the other one that I know, which is earlier this year in July, I believe, we had Ren Sinclair throw in the towel to stop Charlie Dempsey from breaking the leg of Tavion Heights. And so because it's an AI chat bot, so I'm like, I'm going to chat with this AI chat bot. I'm like, I know for a fact there was another time when somebody threw in the towel and I mentioned it. And then they were like, oh, yeah, okay. But then Tavion Heights went on to win the rematch, so it doesn't count. Was a thing the AI bot told me. That it doesn't count. Oh, yeah, I knew about that one. But it doesn't count, though, because he won the rematch. And I thought you meant throw in the towel to end the feud, I guess. Whatever. I'm an AI chatbot. So here's the deal.
Is Shawn Michaels the AI? Is that what we're saying?
Possibly. What I'm saying is, if I had looked it up and somebody actually did the work who wasn't an AI chatbot, and told me that in the past 5 years on NXT, there have been 8 times when somebody threw in a towel, I would have believed it because that's how frequent it feels to me. I know there's more than just 3, including tonight. I know there is, but I don't want to go back through everything and look for it. Throwing in the towel spots would be something you do once every decade. Once a decade should people throw in the fucking towel. It is the most overwrought, like, big dramatic thing. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
honestly,
it's supposed to be when wrestlers are really in peril. Like that's how I always interpreted it. You know what I mean? Not like, your knee might get re-injured.
I think that tonight, ironically, might have been the best use of the throw in the towel spot in NXT in recent memory, because we have established Sol Ruca has a really bad hurt knee that Mariah May is actively trying to destroy. And because Sol Ruca has all this pride and she wants her title back so much, a title she never lost, Zarya throwing in she's never going to tap out. So to save her best friend's knee from getting possibly injured so badly she would have to miss a year or more, Sol Ruca having a history of missing really long periods of time because of knee injuries, all of that history adds up to a good time using this, especially because then you get to spin it out. So you can actually do the thing with the storyline of like Sol blames Zarya, even though Zarya was only looking out for her best friend, which seems to be what they're going to do going forward anyway. My point is, this was the one time you get to use it in the decade because it actually belongs
Sure.
here, kind of. It doesn't belong with Andre Chase saving Thea Hale from what? Tiffany Stratton doesn't hurt people with submission moves. Tiffany Stratton barely knows how to put on a single leg Boston Crab. Like Tavion Heights wasn't in danger of being injured by Charlie Dempsey. Ren Sinclair doesn't have to throw in the towel. So you've done it so often that now you've become the boy who cried throw in the towel. And now, knowing it's actually important for you to actually do it, all the other times you've done it have made this thing a thing I don't ever want to see you do again. After this time, I better not see it until 2030 at the earliest. Please don't throw any more towels in. Please.
Alex, they can do that, but they're going to have to offer you 17 special guest referee spots over the next year and a half.
Man, I wish they had more than 4 ideas. I really do. Because they just use it so often.
Here's my thing with it. I don't want Sol Ruca to be the one to turn heel, so that sucks. And I'm split on it because you're right. The story called for it. I think there were some inconsistencies in the match that took me out of it. Overall, I thought the match was very good. I thought their chemistry was good. I thought the story came across. But when you do like a one-legged kip up because you can't put weight on your knee and then you start to tune up the band to then go kick someone, like it's essentially wrestling school. We talk about that, right? Not everyone's going to be MJF with a worked knee in a match, right? Like that. But like when you do that back to back, that takes me out of it as the viewer. But on the whole, I thought the match was good. That's a tricky thing to do, to work with a body part that's not actually injured, but have to pretend it's injured. But you have to use your legs in a wrestling match. That's how walking around works. So I agree with you in the sense that like this was the best use of it that we've seen in recent history. My thing is like I agree with you on maybe not once a decade. I'll give it 2 to 3 times a decade, but I feel like throwing in the towel should be saved for someone is gonna die if I don't throw in the towel, because the feud between the two people in the ring is so personal and violent and visceral, and we just don't get those kind of feuds in NXT really, and that's okay. But like to me, that's what the throw in the towel spot is supposed to really be. And because NXT has all these women's stories with these sideshows of like, my God, like my kingdom for a women's wrestling dynamic that doesn't include is my friend gonna turn on me, is just the well is so dry, you know? So that's my thing. This is certainly the best use of it in recent times. Like the Chase U thing was weird. So I do like it from that perspective, but I'm not. Look, she could change my mind. Sol Ruca has done an incredible job so far, but like I want Zarya to break out and dominate the hell out of people as a heel. Like that's what I want, because I know what she's capable of. I've seen it as Delta Brady, and I want more of that. And I think we should just get to. It's kind of like with Kalani, like just let us like them. Just let us like them. I don't understand why we can't not like these incredibly magnetic characters. But we'll see what they do with it. Like that's how I'm feeling up front. That's how I'm feeling up front.
Doing stuff with the leg was fun, but when you kept up to land on the good leg and then plant with the bag leg to throw a super kick 4 seconds later. The planting for the super kick does the same thing that the kip up would have done that you couldn't do, you know? So
yes,
all of this has felt very silly, like as a way of like getting the title off of her. And like, there are so many easy ways of getting to breaking up the pairing of Sol and Zarya.
Sure.
And
by the way, so many ways to get to a Blake Monroe title reign. You know what I mean? That's my other thing is like, I don't feel like Blake is looking any stronger for this because she beat someone that's injured. Like, yeehaw.
I mean, she
How
did
dominant.
and it was also like the whole thing of like in her little weird discussion with the devil on her shoulder from last week. Like, that didn't feel like it came into play. Wasn't her whole thing of like, I want to be glamorous and want everyone to love me is the good side of her. And I didn't see that person come out at all. It would have been one thing if she was like trying to wrestle proper or whatever, way that everyone would love me. And then she wasn't going to be able to put away Sol Ruca. So we actually watch her face drop and her go to the bad place. And then she starts taking out Sol. She was immediately going after Sol's knee because she's the heel champion, which is why this whole good person, bad person duality doesn't work with her. She's already firmly heel. She's been that way since she hit Jordan Grace in the back with a title belt at Evolution in July. It's now November. So like, we can't do this whole like, I thought I should be a good person for a change. And like, no, you've been a heel forever. You weren't the woman from hell when you turned heel. That like none of that. So like the Blake stuff tonight, like it felt like she was very much an ancillary character in her own title defense. The whole thing was about Sol, her bad knee, and whether or not stuff with Zarya was going to come to pass. Now,
and the wrestling was very good with it. Like she did a great job with that, but like this is what happens when everything's so damn convoluted. It's just like she's just a participant in her own title match because the focus has to be on this other thing. We do have a couple of chats about this.
Okay.
We got Ryan Cicchini saying throwing in the towel is whack, but it helped the match was mapped out well. Plus those flexibility made it look like her leg would tear. That stuff was good. Like,
yeah. Again,
Sol's good at that aspect.
Of all the times we've seen the towel thrown in, this made the most sense because it looked like she was actually in danger and was in no way going to tap out. Like Blake was going to actually tear a ligament before Sol decided to give up the ghost in this match, which is why Zarya did it. Now, after the match, in the backstage, they have an argument about why I had it. Really? Because it didn't look like you had it, because she didn't have it. And right there, it tells you, I think, unless they do like a swerve back to the correct thing. When you were going to split this up, it was always should have been Zarya turning heel on Sol. Always. Because Zarya is going to be a much better heel than Sol is because, well, wrestling. And Sol has to, I'm sorry everybody, I didn't choose this, but them's the rules. Sol's got to play a heel at some point in wrestling school before she goes to the main roster. And this is just her time to play a wrestling heel. So she's going to blame Zarya for looking out for her knee and cost Zarya maybe the speed title match next week or whatever. But she seems like she's going to turn heel on Zarya. And then we're going to watch like Surfer with black eye makeup. You know what I mean? Like we're going to figure out what are we doing with Sol? Like is she like she stitches all of her she makes all of her wrestling gear. Is she going to draw little devil horns on the butt pockets of her little cutoffs? Like what?
It would be so funny if we got to see Surfer Girl with black eye makeup, but she had gone surfing. So it's just like her makeup's just a mess. Like it's just everywhere. Right. You know what I mean? Like there's just black streaks all over her face from having surfed.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like Surfer Sting, but with just black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tim McFall telling me that I have to be nice to AI because have I not watched Terminator? I've watched it. Okay. I watched it. Listen, if the AI that I was angry with was like a big metal hand, I would have been so nice to it. But that's what happens in the movie, and in real life, it's just a stupid chatbot that Google thought was good and is not good.
I mean, I think like the first sign of Schwarzenegger, though, you gotta start being nice. Like it's just not worth the risk. But for now, you're good.
You know, the last question I asked the AI chatbot before I gave up was like,
"Why are you so wrong?
Tell me all of the times in WWE, NXT, and AEW that a wrestler has lost a match via somebody at ringside throwing in the towel." They told me there have been 0 documented cases of this. When I just told you there have been 2, and you agreed that the second one was technically true. So I asked the same chatbot. The next question was all of the times in all of the companies, and you were like 0 times. None. Never happened. I know I told you 2 times before, but 0 times. So 0 times. I forgot one of the ones that was why it made it so stupid was after Andre Chase threw in the towel to try and protect Thea Hale. Thea Hale, now a grown-ass woman, decided that she was going to throw in the towel to cost Andre Chase his match the following week against Charlie Dempsey. So we got 2 back-to-back. We got she threw in the towel like she did it in a way that she wasn't doing it for the right reasons. She was just doing it to get back at Andre Chase. And at that point, if you're ending matches with vindictive towel throwing, yeah, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot.
I think it's a nice tribute to South Park to be like, don't forget to bring a towel all the time. You know what I mean?
True. That's
you want to get high?
Mm-hmm. Hey, the best thing that happened on the entire show was next. Ricky Starks.
It's the best thing to happen in the world.
Yeah, but yeah, it's true. Ricky Saint Starks came out, and then he was immediately interrupted by shirtless Oba wearing wrist tape. I liked Ricky be like, "Hey, it's good to have you back. But if you think you came back to beat me for this, that ain't happening." It was good. Like he was not like you have no shot. It was just like I'm Ricky Saint. He calls himself Ricky Saints is the champ now. He's doing the third person thing.
Yes.
But what I love the Oba was like after I lost the title, I went back to the motherland and I trained and I watched you from afar. I was never going to get involved with this piddly little TNA thing. I was happy to watch you and Trick fight over who was best dressed, and I fell out my chair. Because not only that, but then Ricky Saints like strikes like an R&B album cover pose. Like he squats down and looks all like he's playing into it. This was everything that I wanted from the feud at the beginning that they didn't give us. Oba was great in this. He was so good. He's like, the ruler has come home. The bringer of war is back. Daddy, your daddy is home. So good. And then Trick comes out, and I was like, man, but come on. And it was just a false alarm because he did say, I'm not done with you until I get my title back. I'm like, no, but you lost a last man standing match. I mean, under false pretenses, because I'm still pretty sure you're not allowed to like shove a dude while he's getting up at 8. But then he gets hit with a chair from behind by Miles Bourne. No, Miles Bourne.
Yeah,
Miles Bourne. Okay.
You're still thinking of Riley Osborne.
I'm thinking of Milesy Rilesborn, and that's
of course. Why would
you? To say a long time ago, Miles Bourne. His name's Miles Bourne. And he's like, "Hey, Trick. We heard you. You're done. You're done." And you're like, "Yeah, great." But then Ava's mad at him. How dare you go out and hit a man with a chair? People aren't allowed to brawl on my show.
Which is why
you want him
John
so
Cena
bad,
is picking the Iron Survivors.
You got a match with Trick next week on the second week of Gold Rush. And then she gets a phone call. They're doing what? And like you're not allowed to be surprised that there are men brawling backstage. It is a weekly occurrence on the show that you general manage. Like you're like
I feel
hold
like
on,
you can't.
what's going on?
I think that's fair. You can't be shocked by this behavior at this moment.
You really can't.
That's just not right.
You really can't.
Ricky is such a natural sounding champion too. Like he just knows exactly who he is as a wrestler. And I don't love how we got here, but like I like this Ricky arc, and I didn't know how I was gonna feel about face Ricky, but he has some swag to him still, which is important. And Oba's great. Like he's so. I'm so glad that they've just been like, okay, and when he's not pursuing a title, he's off TV. Like I actually think that's a really smart move, because that guy should be circling titles, and the intentionality of Oba, I think, is his appearances should feel precious in a way.
Right.
Like they should all matter so much because of the type of character he is. So I'm actually really glad they weren't like, we're just going to throw you into a random feud with whatever as a way to get back to the top. Like pulling him off TV the times that they have is absolutely the right call.
They're giving him the Gunther treatment.
Yes, and they should. I've been saying that for a long time.
When Gunther's not the champion, he's not on television.
Yeah, and he should
unless
be.
He is coming for the
right
title. Yeah. Tavion. I guess this was like a weird harness or something, but it wasn't a backpack, or was it this time it was black? Is he keeping a lunchbox in there? I am so.
Good for him.
I don't know, man. It's fine. I guess like meal planning and stuff. Good for you.
It's important.
But
gotta keep your chicken and white rice and broccoli somewhere, man.
He's being interviewed, and he gets attacked by Josh Briggs, and then they fight to the back, and they're continuing to fight to the back, and fighting in the back. Ava made an announcement tonight that this year for the Iron Survivor, rather than have a panel of legends pick people for the match, we're going to have one person do it. Yourself? Because it's your job? No. No, it's going to be John Cena. And I'm like, he's not allowed to appear because contractually he's not allowed to appear. So either it's going to be a pre-recorded video, him narrating all the people. He's picking everybody for both Iron Survivor matches. Either it's a pre-recorded video, which is the best case scenario, or it's a list that Vic Joseph reads out saying John Cena picked these names, which I think is probably what it's going to be.
No, I think they'll do a pre-record because it was like also his idea to have the exhibition matches at Saturday night's main event, right? Like, so I think maybe that'll all come into play in some way or something. Like, I think I don't think you put John Cena's name on it if you're not gonna like put his stamp on it. Like, I'll put it this way: I don't think John Cena's putting his name on something unless he's putting his stamp on it. Post getting squashed by Brock Lesnar for no fucking reason.
This would be good. So Tavion seems to think he's going to be in it. Miles Bourne, after he attacked Trick, said to Ricky and Oba, "You're looking at the winner of the next Iron Survivor match. Yes. Whichever one of you wins at Deadline," because Ricky says to Oba, "You want a rematch at Deadline? You got it. So whichever one of you wins at Deadline, I'll see the one of you at New Year's Evil." Miles Bourne winning, sure. Tavion Heights being in it, sure. Josh Briggs almost certainly in it. That's 3. Does Trick get another shot? Like Trick's facing Miles Bourne next week.
Trick is getting dangerous. Like
Trick,
he has the charisma for it, and he's like perpetually over. But they're going to the you're losing shots. Well, a lot. It feels like.
I really hope Saquon Sugars is in it. Javon Evans should be in it. I wonder if they do a TNA guy. Orion's saying Mike Santana, maybe. It'd be fun. I hope it's not Joe Hendry. Please, God, don't let it be Joe Hendry. God, that'd be terrible.
Mike Santana coming over, he should win. He should be like, I lost my title, now I'm just gonna win yours. And also, I don't work at TNA anymore. Would actually be very funny.
Yeah. I think if the 5 dudes in the match are Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, Josh Briggs, Saquon Sugars, Javon Evans, that's a pretty great 5. That's a pretty great 5. I would have Saquon Sugars win it because I really think we need to start actually making this guy into somebody special. Because
that's a good shout, actually. I like that idea.
Because it, he could snake a pinfall from Javon Evans or whatever. He's not going to beat Ricky, I don't think. But who knows this company? You know what I mean? But him winning it and staking his claim as the actual dude who's leading this group of rabble rousers is much better than whatever the hell this is, because, man, I am done with DarkState. As presently constructed, as we're all equals. It's the 4 Musketeers. The only time you've ever seen them wrestle with the tag titles on the line, either attempting to get them or while defending them, it has been Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox. They are firmly the tag team. Every time they do it, Vic Joseph is shocked. Oh wow, it's gonna be Osiris and Dion Lennox this time. It's them every time, Victor. Every time.
They're not freebirding them.
They're not freebirding the titles. Maybe they are, and it's just a random draw out of a hat, and it's always the same 2 guys. What a coinky dink. But I don't think that's what it is. Honestly, like Ryan Chiquini is saying, booking has done DarkState no favors. I do like the makeup of the group. But I think a lot of the issues would have been fixed if Trick was in charge. Trick should have been in charge from the very beginning. It would have been great. We all were predicting it because I do think, honestly, at the time, that was the plan, and then they changed it. Because they were pointing so hard to Trick being the guy, and they desperately needed a leader, and I still think they do. But the good news is we don't have to import a dude. We just make Saquon Sugars the leader, and oops, Cutler James got Brooks Jensen's back to evolve. Like they kick him out, and it's just the 3 of them, because then you can wrestle 6-man tags, because they rarely do 8-man tags. So every time they do a 6-man tag, it's one guy on the outside, and somehow that guy is always Saquon Sugars. He should be the leader, and then you have those 2 dudes as the tag team. That works, and then Cutler James is back to evolve, because he just doesn't work here. He just doesn't.
He certainly doesn't work in this group. Like it doesn't click here.
Not as presently constituted with the way that they operate. It just doesn't work for him.
Yeah, it doesn't fit at all. Like I think they tried this odd couple thing and that hasn't clicked. The DarkState experiment is kind of over for me. Like it's so the booking's fault. Like it just, nothing they've done has felt important. When they've had titles, it hasn't felt important. Like, because there's what's happening in the tag division right now, Alex? Like nothing is. The inconsistencies around the booking has really, really hampered this. And when you make such a bold move to introduce a faction like this, there's kind of only one way you can go with that. And that's to have them dominate the hell out of the roster, win a bunch of gold right away. The angles don't work. You can't put everybody on notice and then be middling. That's not how that goes. So like, hey, we played hot potato with the Hardys in their 50s. Like, doesn't really do anything to establish them, and they lost what made them cool initially, which was the viciousness. And then you have Cutler being a goofball, so it doesn't. And the other guys don't. You'll appreciate this because you watched a little South Park. The other guys should be Scott Malkinsoning him more than they are. They should not find this humorous. They should not be playing along. They shouldn't even be rolling their eyes. They should be like, "Who the do you think you are in this group? Like, this is not what we're here to do. Make these like double entendre whatevers."
Well, I don't think they should be making so many diabetes jokes, but yes, I get it. That is, if you're going to make him into Scott Malkinson, that's the only thing that we know about Scott Malkinson is that he does have indeed diabetes. But
I like your idea of putting Saquon Sugars in the Iron Survivor a lot. Like, I really, really think
I don't think we're lucky enough to have that happen, but I would love it. I would love it.
It would be a really good, like, underdog spot for him. But Alex, like, not everybody has their own little Iron Survivor. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes your Survivor isn't made of iron.
No, it like they go to that penalty box really fast and they just kind of stay there for a little bit until they're ready to go again, and it's honestly kind of unimpressive, but there's help along the way with Blue Chew.
We always talk about your mailman. He's the one delivering your packages, but you're just trying to deliver a package of your own. And we told you how BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL can help you do that. You know, better sex, better in the bedroom, main event performance, all that good stuff. But listen, your mailman, whether your mailman's interested in you or interested in what's going on in that bedroom, he's going to be like, listen, I know this package arrives safe and discreetly. I haven't heard of you going to the doctor. I haven't heard anybody from the pharmacy saying that you've been there, but something's got to be going on. You got to be using some sort of performance booster, so to speak. And then you're going to have to fess up. You're going to say Blue Chew. Then that mailman's going to be like, hey, can you deliver by my back door? Do you got a special delivery for me? Maybe a little something for my mail slot? Listen, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to make you have that better performance. And Blue Chew is as well. We can't help what the mailman does after that, but it's going to arrive safely and discreetly. But make life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. We got that special deal for listeners. Get that first month free. Just pay $5 shipping. God, hush money for the mailman. Visit BlueChew.com for important details and safety information.
Again, I'm not comfortable hearing him use the term mail slot.
I know, but because you brought it up the first time, I had to play it again.
Please don't. Can we delete that one? Let's do other ones.
I'm not going to Matt Hardy it, but I will introduce other ones. I play that one because it's the longest, and sometimes a 90-second break is nice.
It is nice. It's true. It's true.
But we reorient. But
that is true.
Not if we're just sitting here marveling at what a perv our boss is.
So Javon Evans and Leon Slater, wow, great athletes, huh? Very
much
talented,
better than the
very very talented young competitors. This Evans fella and this Slater boy, they're very very good. Man, I didn't think they were gonna win, but like having them do all this great work and everything, and then it's just okay. Well, there's lose. Vic Joseph is quickly. Man, if you would ask me a year ago, what I thought of Vic Joseph, I would have him in much higher regard than I do now, and it's not entirely his fault. A lot of it is, I think, that Booker has driven him insane. But you cannot call a doomsday device a doomsday-esque device. It's just a doomsday device, man. There's one move that's a doomsday device, and they did it. I don't know why you're calling it doomsday-esque. It's just a doomsday device, man. That's weird.
The box-like structure. It's what I thought of immediately.
It's a Nikki Cross-like creature. Okay, it is not exactly. It's what it is. That is what the thing is. So that is how they finish off Leon Slater. Javon Evans got tossed to the outside, and Javon is done. He got thrown between the middle ropes. I've seen that man. Like, I saw him get murdered by Gunther 5 times last night. He got thrown through the middle ropes. He's fine. Can we do something to him that causes him not to be able to come out and help out his buddy? Also, Javon Evans doing a frog splash to a guy pinning Leon Slater, but that guy has eyes in the back of his head and rolls off Leon Slater so that Javon Evans hits the frog splash on Leon Slater. I'm like, okay, fine. I was like, is Leon Slater going to turn heel on Javon Evans here? Because there's a 50-50 shot. Whenever a tag team has a guy accidentally hit the other guy, 50-50 shot on them turning heel on each other. I don't know.
Sure.
I think Javon Evans and Leon Slater are great. And I think that the product would be better if they were the tag champs rather than DarkState. But I don't get the things that I want.
If they had one, I think we would have been looking at the end of the faction legitimately. Because if 4 guys can't beat 2, that's a tough thing. Also, Leon Slater's not contracted to this company, and unlike TNA, they don't tend to put titles on people that aren't signed to their companies.
They also have shown zero problem with putting the titles on somebody for 2 weeks and then taking them off again. So, they could do that with Leon Slater as a fun little, hey, goodwill gesture. Hey, kid, you're going to get a lot of offers from a different company as soon as you are available. We would like for you to not go there, so why don't you become our tag champs for a few weeks to show as a gesture of goodwill from us?
Yeah, but right now they're just renting a bunch of TNA talent and not having to pay, so...
I know.
So there's that, but this match was much better than the last one that they had. That the other one was, I think, Lucha Inundation, maybe. It was just a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
But this was much, much, much better. Javon is just so inevitable. It's like, I get that there's not a hard split anymore between the NXT and main roster, and there's aspects to that I don't hate, but it's like, not if you're just going to stall somebody. That seems like a waste, because then it also says we can't really make plans with this guy because we don't know if he's just going to get called up at any point. But Javon's as inevitable of a talent as you would think. I also thought that about Montez Ford. I also thought that about Carmelo Hayes. So maybe that's not the case. But it seems like he's so organically over no matter what Raw, SmackDown, this. He's a megastar for the future if they don't get in their own way on it. But they get in their own way a lot. So we'll see what happens. But I think they know what they have with Javon. I just am like, are you going to strap him up, or are you going to call him up really, really soon? Because I could see them doing either, but I don't know if they have the answer to that question, which is the only thing that makes me nervous. It doesn't feel like they know that.
Yeah, I mean, Javon acquitted himself very well last night in the match with Gunther. But the thing that would have put the match over the top is him doing his big jumpy cutter and Gunther somehow kicking out or getting a foot on the ropes or something. They didn't do the big jumpy cutter. That place would have come unglued for the big jumpy cutter. and they didn't do a big jumpy cutter, and I feel like they kind of owed it to the Madison Square Garden fans. But maybe they wanted to protect that maneuver. I don't know. Listen, he's 21 years old. Obviously, he's he should be. He's a top tier talent on the main roster, even if he was up there. But they don't push people until their late 30s. They are calling 37-year-old Bronson Reed a rookie. So like, he breaks the entire continuum of WWE thought with age. Like, obviously he's so good, you got to do it. But like, Braun Breaker's not ready. We're just not ready to put the title on Braun Breaker. So he's 28. You know what I mean? Like, so that's I don't know what I hope he is so good, because he is so good. I hope they think he's so good that they can throw all of their ideas about how long somebody has to have been under contract to this company before they get an actual push. They throw all that crap out the window, but I don't know.
Alex, it's interesting because today's the, I think, 13th anniversary of the Shield debuting. Mm-hmm. And one thing that made the Shield work is something that we've talked about now in back-to-back segments that isn't working elsewhere, right? DarkState not being brought in to be dominant in the ecosystem of NXT the way that the Shield was, after being compared to the Shield aesthetically. And with Javon Evans, it's kind of funny because it was like you had these hot young heel faction come up, right? And they just were badasses from the beginning and dominant and won things and were successful. They didn't sit around and wait. And with Javon, I don't want him to have too many main roster appearances that the shininess of what he can do wears off in these like losses that he looks really great in against formidable opponents. Like, don't do that with these people. Like, just have them ready to strike. Have him defeat Ilya. Do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, do stuff that moves young talent forward, because we're looking at this War Games match and everybody in it is like 40.
Did you see the thing that Jeremy did about the average age of the Last Time Is Now tournament?
Yes, and how much Javon was bringing down the average.
I would have to go in and do the thing and add in however much over 40 Dolph Ziggler is, because he was doing it without the Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph Ziggler brings the average age back up over 40. So how about we take Javon Evans out and just say the average age of everybody else? It's got to be, 48, 49? Like, it's ridiculous.
Ziggler is 45 years old. Now, I will say, of anybody at that age, the way that he worked with Solo Sikoa, I was like,
oh, I love Ziggler.
You move a lot better than a lot of these guys.
Right. But all of them are... It's confounding John Cena's like, I really want to do stuff with young talent, which is why I'm going to be facing 38-year-old Gunther, who's on the younger side in the final, like after he wins this tournament. Just what are we doing? It's nuts.
I mean, even Solo's in his young 30s, right? Like,
yeah.
Carmelo Hayes is the only other one that's under 30. Like, I think Sean had something that nobody born after 1987 has held the world, the WWE World Championship ever.
Yeah.
1987.
Yep. Yeah.
There are people born in this millennia that should have by now, or should be like next up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Nobody born in the 90s has ever been the champion. So the idea that somebody born in 2004 is kind of weird that they would jump that far. But I hope it's true. I hope Javon Evans says that. That would be great.
The sky's the limit for him, possibly literally.
Yeah.
Like he might be like, the sky is actually exactly as high as I can jump, and then I start to come down because of oxygen.
Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair are just hanging out backstage, which is where like the only mention of the invasion angle on TNA is brought up barely. They were doing this. They were
Kendall Gray
standing.
continues to be around.
Yes. Well, she's got her Evolve title match. They taped it tonight. It's for next week. But they did this backstage in a very long hallway with wide open space way back behind them. And I was just trained to be like, who's going to walk back there? Who's going to walk? No, nobody did. I was like, oh, nobody walked back there. I thought there was going to be some, it's just, yeah. Huh. Interesting.
But you're
I'm so used to
it, right?
Yeah. Kate. I don't know how exactly to react to this vignette promo from one Shiloh Hill.
Neither do I. I'm so glad you're confused too.
I'm really intrigued because hyper genius sociopath disassociated from reality doesn't know when it's cool to smile, like loves inflicting pain on people but also is into quantum physics. Like, this is a Batman villain. I don't, but he looks like an outside linebacker. You know what I mean? And
he was.
He's real. I know, which is why he looks like that. But like all of those other things that don't work together. It's like somebody took a dash. It's like somebody put into I'm going to make a stew, and the stew is just an amalgamation of different characteristics from comic book villains. Is like as a super genius, loves inflicting pain, doesn't experience like emotions the way we do because his brain is wrong. All of these things, and out comes this guy. His real name is Thunder Justice, and they changed it to Shiloh Hill.
You sons of bitches!
Shiloh
Why would
Hill
you change the name Thunder Justice?
Shiloh Hill is the name of the lead character from a Disney Channel show. That's not you. His name is Thunder Justice, and you made him Shiloh Hill.
Alex, like a 2000s WB show, Shiloh Hill is like the shy quarterback, I think.
He's typing code, and he's like, "Oh, hi, didn't see you there. I was just going to download some information to you about me. I'm Shiloh Hill. I won season 2 of LFG. In the footage of him getting his medal or whatever, he's missing a tooth very prominently, but he's not here. So they're taking that away from the gimmick or whatever, I think, because they want him to be more. Maybe we'll see. I don't think so. He says that everybody thinks that I'm supposed to be some kind of jock because I played football, but a lot of other people think that I'm some big nerd because I played football at Stanford. It's weird. I watched this promo 3 times. I was so fascinated by the craziness of it. It's weird because I didn't even really like school. When I was a kid, every time I would start to like it, this is the weirdest part of the promo. When I was a kid, every time I would start to like school, my parents would come into my bedroom in the middle of the night and tell me we had to move because the fog was rolling in. Is that code for something I'm not aware of? The fog was rolling in? Another possible trait of this Batman villain that we're brewing in a pot is his parents were friggin' like crazy people who thought the fog was coming to eat them, and he was raised by them. Maybe, I don't know, but he said,
I mean, his name's Thunder Justice and the fog was rolling in. Like, there's a lot of natural elements feeding the supernatural here.
Says, every time I started to like it, my parents would come into my bedroom, which it implies at least 2 times. At least 2, probably 3 or 4 times when he was a child. His parents would come into his bedroom in the middle of the night and say, we have to move because the fog is rolling in. And then he just scoots past it like that wasn't the strangest thing anyone has ever said. Like, he just motors past it, like, whatever. There was that one, I think it was 3rd grade, that I only went to school 32 times in the entire year, and I got in trouble with the state. You didn't, your parents did. Is the fog code for the state board of people who takes kids away from their parents? Because in this case, I'm rooting for the fog. Like, okay, so then he says, me and my sisters, I don't know, that implies at least 2, maybe it's 5. I don't know how many sisters he had. Every day, he says, every day we would go to the bus stop and wait for the bus and then just run into the woods and play all day. It was so much fun. My thing is, if you only went to school for 32 days in 3rd grade, you don't get to go to 4th grade. You got to go back and go 3rd grade again. So did he get held back multiple years? I don't know. He says, well, how did I get to go to Stanford if I didn't go to school? Well, when I was a freshman in high school, I tested out of all of the classes that the high school offered me, which means he's a genius, self-taught, like his brain works differently than everybody else because he didn't go to school, so he's just a hyper genius. And then they said, okay, well, you could take some online courses, but those were super easy. And I did all of the work in a week and then just never did any more work in high school. But I was allowed to play football for the high school team, even though he was a homeschooled kid who did all of his work online and played football and really liked football. And he was just, I can't describe to you the rush that I get when I hear all of the wind being driven out of a guy when I hit him. I love hitting people so much. And that's why I went to Stanford. And now The Undertaker says I'm a good wrestler. And so here I am. It's just all in one promo. It's one of the longest ones they've ever done. Here's also the deal. Wasn't bad. Like his performance of this psychopath was really riveting. A lot of it was the production of it, because like there was this weird film grain on the outside of it, like on the edges of the frame, to let you know this guy ain't all there. So I don't know what we're doing with him, but he is immediately 1,000 times more intriguing to me than Jacob Marley, Jasper Troy. We got one guy whose whole deal is I like chains, and this dude who is a hyper genius psychopath who enjoys inflicting pain on people. He says, oh, that's the other thing. I got to get done with all the regular classes, and I spent all the time I was supposed to be in school researching fun stuff like quantum mechanics and conspiracy theories. What?
Alex, I'm so excited about this guy, and I hope he's on NXT as quickly as possible, because I have a feeling you are going to be compelled to dissect everything he says on a regular basis in the way that you just did. And those are my favorite Alex moments on the show. What I immediately loved about this was, and this isn't even, not that I care about being offensive towards like the 5th developmental brand of WWE. But like him winning LFG is the least interesting thing about him immediately. And I think that's great because so many people that win it, and I understand why people do this, but that's like, and it led to this opportunity now that I have in WWE and with NXT because I won and I learned perseverance through it. And I get that was the vehicle that got you here, but there was something really refreshing, man, about someone that just immediately was like, this is how I got here. And then so quickly I was like, there are so many more interesting things about you than that. And B, what I really liked about this character was he's so much more immediately than like a sociopathic character. He has all these other personality traits. Like, it's not just that he's nuts. It's like he was a football player, which is something that a lot of real normal people are. Like, he was bored in school, which is extremely relatable. It wasn't just like immediately I'm Dexter. There were like all of these extremely relatable, rooted things that kept you there. But I will say, watching this promo, I was like, I was just so overwhelmed. Not in a bad way, because I was compelled. It kept my attention the entire time. It was just, Alex, it was very unexpected. I gotta say, I was overwhelmed because I was very surprised that in the middle of NXT Gold Rush, which is largely about championships with characters that I'm familiar with, we got an extended promo from LFG season 2 winner, sociopath, psychopath, whatever. Like, it was a lot to wrap your head around because it went so many places. But overall, I am at least intrigued, which is more than I can say for a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, it is relatable. Being bored in school is relatable. Playing football is relatable. Hold on. The fog rolling in is not relatable.
No.
I want everything that guy has to say about the fog rolling in, scaring his parents into moving somewhere with their children. I want all of that detail.
But like, I almost like that it was like the way he treated it, like it wasn't that big of a deal, like you said.
Yeah.
I am intrigued by that. But I love that it reads so normal to him. He didn't even pause to say it.
Sure.
Like, it's just a part of
that's actually part of
the
part of the promo performance that I liked the most. Because when you say something like, every time when I just got to like a school, my parents would come into my bedroom in the middle of the night and tell me we had to move again because the fog was rolling in. Anyway, old story. And like when you do it like that, when you undercut something that is really, that would immediately be like, what? When you undercut it and move on, all of a sudden that becomes the thing that people should fixate on. And if you're watching it in a movie or a play, they're going to pay that off somewhere down the line. So I'm waiting. You got to pay this off. You got to pay off what the fog is, man. What's the fog? Where's the fog coming from? What's going on with the parents? Playing in the woods with your 12 sisters. What's going on? I need to know. I just got to have it. Anyway, Luis says the fog is a Call of Duty reference. No, it's not. It can't be. No, I'm not allowing that. No. No. It's
well, what was it in
parents...
Call of Duty? You know what I mean? Like, what was it in in COD?
No. I don't know. It's got to be the parents think that the fog is coming to steal their children. Please. Gotta have it. This is honestly the fact that he was sitting there just coding. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Like, it was amazing. I don't know, man. I'm
Luis
all
is
in
being young
for
ruins
finding out.
everything, by the way.
I really need to see what else this guy is. I have
Me
no
too.
interest in watching him wrestle. I just want to know more about this character.
You're like, I want an NXT episode that 60 minutes of it is just a sit down with him. That's all.
Luis says he's 28. He's from that generation. I understand. 26. I understand.
Unsubscribe to Luis. He ruins everything with his young age.
Listen, I get it. So what? So it's code for what? The government is the fog?
I don't want Luis being hip to ruin wrestling for me. Enough.
I like.
He already didn't know who
he misspoke. He was supposed to say we had to move because the frog was rolling in.
Oh God, not the frog.
It was actually the frog. Yeah, it was the frog. Yeah, it's the frog. Anyway, after this, Tatum Paxley lost her title to Jacy Jayne. I don't know. You want to talk about that? Because I'm all out. I'm all done out for this show because I watched the Shiloh Hill promo 4 times or whatever it was.
I'll just say this, because we already talked about it a little bit up front too. Like, I feel like it would make more sense for Izzy to get herself a title shot in the same way that I don't think people should be causing disqualification finishes with Bronson Reed when Bronson Reed is in the middle of a possibility to win a title if you are on his side. Like, right. There's a certain... Not everything needs to be about wins and losses, but people getting title shots off of losses is bad enough. People winning titles off of losses also sucks. The de-emphasis on winning the title, I don't like. And that's a WWE-wide problem right now. Meaning that, like, it's more important to Izzy Dame that Tatum doesn't have the title instead of that Izzy gets a shot at it. When the story you've been telling to this point is Izzy is jealous of Tatum because she wants the title. Like, Izzy absolutely should have been manipulating Tatum into getting a title shot. Now, that being said, we talked extensively about how, I mean, NXT has quicker title reigns, don't get me wrong. But like on the whole in wrestling, like there's not enough hot potatoing. I like hot potatoes. I like them more when they are to fuel feuds between two people than to feed offshoot stories. I feel like Tatum, everybody was really excited about it, but like maybe this isn't the time for her to be champion. I think Fallon Henley's for sure winning the speed title, right? Or going to have the speed title so that faction will have gold as like a dominant whatever. So I think it actually serves the stories okay in that. I also understand how you operate and that like there's a wrong way to do things and they chose the wrong thing. I think this as like the B option to serve the story is cool, but I just don't like telling a story that's about Izzy being jealous that Tatum has the title and then abandoning Izzy caring about the title. Like she cares more about being jealous of Tatum when she could easily have worked her way into having a title shot. So that's my biggest thing about it. The match was like, I don't know if you said NXT match where both sides have factions, this is what you would get. Like, this is the match that you would churn out. Both wrestlers are very, very good. Like Jacy Jayne is very, very good. Tatum is very, very good. But like, of course you're going to have people standing around and being involved and whatever. Like it's of course going to go that way. So I don't mind like Tatum's reign coming to an end. I think that there were better ways to serve the story than this. But I felt like this was probably going to happen because the rest of Gold Rush was so predictable. And it seemed, I don't know, just the way that they go about business, it was just like, well, which side is going to have dissension first? So I wasn't like startled by the ending.
There's a lot of dumb stuff in the way this match was constructed near the end. Izzy Dame hitting a giant big boot on Laney and taking the title and throwing it in directly at Tatum. And Tatum is like, kind of shoves it away. Like, I don't want to win that way. So Jacy takes it. And then Jacy's going to do it, but then the ref grabs it and Fallon's on the top rope and the ref has to like do everything around it. But like Tatum gets run out of the ring and then she tries to get back in and Sean Spears and Nico stand in her way. She's not allowed to get back in. And behind the ref's back, here comes Izzy to hit a big boot on her. So Izzy, my question to you is this. When you hit the big boot on Laney and then get the title and pass it to Tatum, if Tatum uses it on Jacy, are you happy? Are you happy with that? Is that a thing that you wanted? Because you decided to do that. If Tatum, that was a thing. You said, here, Tatum, use the title to hit Jacy, and then you'll become the champion. Is the fact that she didn't want to win that way the reason why you turned on her, or were you always going to turn on her? And if you were always going to turn on her, why did you do all the stuff with the kicking Lady Reed and then taking the belt and giving it to Tatum? Because those two things don't match up. Also, at what point was Sean and Nico involved? Was this all a big master plan that you had? And they were like, let's see if Tatum takes the title and hits Jacy with it. Because if she does, everything's A-okay. But if she doesn't, and then she doesn't wind up outside the ring, how are we supposed to stand in her way to stop her from winning the match? None of this makes any sense when you think about it for more than 5 seconds. I hated the way this was agented at the end. None of it makes sense. I'm not even talking about the obvious way it doesn't make sense, which is that Izzy shouldn't cost Tatum the match here. She should help Tatum win and then say, okay,
sure,
the next person you're giving a title match to is me, your best friend, because I love you so much. And Tatum, because Tatum is Tatum, says, of course I will. And then you turn on her. That makes sense. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about all of the little ways this didn't make any sense during the match itself. All of this was bad. This is bad. All of this is bad. Now it's kind of bad because
it could go the way of. I was just going to say, I think it could go the way of like, because she didn't use the title, that's like she failed the test of being in their weird little cult, right? Like, she's not willing to go to the lengths that she needs to be a viable champion, and Izzy would, I think, is the in-ring story coming out of that. Right. I don't love it, but I think that's why it was produced that way. I hope they pay that off, because if they don't, that's even worse.
Izzy, I think we all expected Izzy to turn on Tatum once Tatum became the champion. That was we expected her to do it on the Tuesday after she won the title. But to turn on her to become the next person who was going to beat Tatum, because Izzy is the kind of woman who would absolutely believe, I can beat Tatum in 3 minutes. You know what I mean? She doesn't have, A, I'm bigger and stronger than she is, and B, she doesn't have the killer instinct that she needs in order to beat somebody like me. So do that. Either turn on her and then Tatum has a reason to feud with you, or the smarter thing would be to just ask for a title match, which Tatum would immediately grant you. I mean, I know she said, I would never face you for the title, Izzy, which you could work around it. All I know is this is bad and dumb. And now we're just back to Jacy being the champion again. And I perhaps it's the 3-woman power trip with all of the gals in Fatal Influence holding titles. And okay, now what? You know what I mean? Like a lot of this to me is okay, now whatting the women's division of NXT, because I don't see what the move does.
I have a real issue with the fact that Izzy turning on Tatum is a story. The dissension between Fatal Influence, I guess, is under control for now, but they've been teasing that for months. And so Ruca is breaking up, right? It's too much of the same shit. And what it does for me is it dilutes the match that's supposed to be happening between the two people in front of you when every single story has all of these superfluous things going on around it. Now, I will say part of NXT strength is the way that they involve so many women on screen. So I get it because it's a really easy way to get a lot of people out of screen time. It's a really easy way to extend feuds by just having people face entire factions, right? So I understand the value of it from that perspective. But when you do it with every women's program that you have going on, it makes me say two things. One, why the hell did they ever get rid of the women's NXT tag titles? And two, expand the effing playbook. Please. Like a Sally Struthers commercial for 70 cents a day. NXT.
Yeah.
Could expand their playbook. Please. For more plays in the playbook.
Right. Kalani versus Jordan Grace versus Lei Ying Lee for the Knockouts World title. Zarya versus Fallon, Women's Speed title. Kendall Gray versus Lainey Reed for the Evolve Women's title. Jackson Drake versus Sean Legacy for the Men's Evolve title. And Trick versus Miles, and perhaps a wild John Cena appears. That's what we have on tap for a taped episode next week. I guess so. We have some major news, and I'm not going to look it up because I want it to be true. Alexa Bliss Gamer telling us that in real life, Shiloh Hill has an AI robot roommate. Does the AI robot roommate pay half of the rent? If so, what is the AI robot's job? Is it to keep the fog from rolling in? The AI robot roommate just holds a fan and blows fog away. Just I don't know. Now I'm totally in on it. I want to know more.
I don't need them to wrestle ever. I just need a buddy cop sitcom with the two of them fighting the fog and whatever else comes their way. Yeah. I need to know everything about this AI robot roommate. So bad.
Yeah. Okay. Meet Normus says he's a 54 month member. Meet Normus says, to those in my family that want me to cook for Thanksgiving, there will be meat in all the sides. If your +1 is vegan, too bad. Let's crank. That's what he says.
It's a sides holiday, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we had a lot of different pun topics. For a while, it was Metallica puns, and Alpha Bill was very excited about that. So then we changed it to AMC puns because TNA. And then he says, "Screw the change. Nothing else McIntyre's." That's a Metallica pun.
That's a great one.
We also had just metallic puns, things are made out of metal. The Dash Kingdom says Josh Goldbriggs.
Nice.
Chromium Magnesium Punk.
Nailed it.
Brass Legend.
That's a good one.
Bronze Breaker. That's also just the color of his skin, but yes. And Nickel Nemeth. Mm-hmm. Luis Polito says Los Metallicos.
Damn.
Oro, Plata, Bronze, Platino.
Seeing Dolph Ziggler bump like that yesterday, my heart just like.
Oh. That's very good. Chiletric Mayhem says Whiplash Legend. these are Metallica puns. Whiplash legend, harvester of Wardlow, creeping death, aka Ric Flair. That's what he wrote. Of Beast, Mortos, and Man, and
very nice.
Serpentalica is what Tedeschi Mayhem wrote. These are metal puns, precious gem puns, perhaps. Meet Enormous says Julia Ripley, Karen Carrot, and
very good.
Rolexus King.
Nice. Well done.
King, of course, part of the group who did an excursion over to TNA and didn't get mentioned on the show. Rafael Garcia says Golden Finger Poke of Doom. Goldfinger Poke of Doom. Good. Tom LaValle says Ride the London Lightning. That is a Metallica pun. Matt Gray Sky says it is an AMC pun. Even Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, feels good in a place like this. I don't know the reference there. Bill Alphabet says, Alpha Bill says, Better Call Saul Ruca.
That's a really good one.
That's a very good AMC pun.
That's a really good one.
Alpha Bill also says, for a metal pun, Thai metal, not Thai mellow, but Thai metal. And then also he says, it's zinc.
That's a really fun one too.
Lupangi Vice says, AU can't see me. AU, of course, is the periodic table of the elements for gold. AU can't see me is very, very good.
That is some 3D chess right there.
Yeah. Silver Apocalypse, Metallica puns, Fade to Aleister Black, Sika and Destroy, Sliced Bread Fan, and Ride the Lightning Kid. AMC puns from Louisville. Breaking Bam Bam. And Halt and Catch Alba Fire. Metal puns from Meet Enormous. Rowdy Roddy Pyrite. And Mandy Goldman Sachs.
Very good. Mandy Goldman Sachs.
Meet Enormous says for some Master Republics. Metallica. Enter Hangman. Unforbidden 2.0.
Very nice.
Turn the Ethan Page. Wherever I may Roman Reigns. That you and I are the masters of puppets. Zeke and Desmond Troy. Fade to Aleister Black. Greg Cherry pun. Greg Cherry Brand says,
very nice.
Here's some AMC puns. Tony Rubicon. Mariah Mayfair Witches. Halt and No Quarter Catchfire.
Very nice.
Metallic puns. Baron Cobalt. Tungsten Team 2000. And Shane McMagnesium. Love Yins. Sponsor the Fightful Awards.
Very nice. Biggest Shane McMahon fan in the world, Greg Cherry. Unapologetic stan. And I respect that.
Okay, we got 2 jukeboxes and then we're out. Louisville wants Braun Strowman to sing Golden by the people from K-pop Demon Hunters.
I know nothing of what that is, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, I wish that they didn't put in the Korean characters because that is difficult for me to parse through. Here we go. I was a ghost. I was all alone.
Given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I meant to be. I lived 2 lives to try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called a problem child because I got too wild. But that's how I'm getting paid on stage. I'm done hiding. Now I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dreaming hard. We came so far. Now I believe we're going up, up, up. It's our moment. And know together we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Up, up, up with our voices. Gonna be golden. Get these K-pop demon hunters.
The collab I never knew I needed, but I so did.
Tom LaValle wants the ghost of Dusty Rhodes to sing the theme from Goldfinger.
Let's go.
Let's see if my vocal register is ready for this one, or at least if Dusty's is. Hi, it's me. I'm sorry. I've been a little under the weather, so we'll see if I can hit the high notes on this one. Here we go. Goldfinger! He's the man with a Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin, but don't you go in, baby. Golden waves he will pour in your ear, but his lies can't disguise what you fear. For a golden girl like B. Arthur or Betty White knows when he's kissed her. Like Rue McClanahan, it's the kiss of death from Mr. Goldfinger. Pretty girl, beware of his heart of gold. This heart is cold. Golden words he will pour in your ear, baby, but his lies can't disguise what you fear. For a golden girl like Estelle Getty knows when he's kissed her, it's the kiss of death from Mr. Goldfinger. That's hard times. It's hard times. My son, he used to have a gold finger. He used to have his whole body was gold, covered in gold dust.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. Now he's got no knees, poor boy.
You know what?
He's got no knees.
You know what I saw today was a clip of Dashing Cody Rhodes, who I will forever stand. I love Dashing Cody Rhodes. I'm here for him.
You know what I saw?
I miss him.
What I saw was some fan footage of what happened at the end of Raw last night. When several of New York's finest, the NYPD, our boys in blue, came to try and break up a brawl between Team CM Punk, which Cody is a part of, and the bad guys in the Vision. They were just doing their jobs. And did you see this? Not only did Roman Reigns spear 2 of New York's finest through a barricade. At the same time, apparently, my boy, not on the view of the TV cameras, but in the view of a camera phone in the audience, my boy, Cody Rhodes, was taking a kendo stick to uniformed members of the NYPD. He was hitting them with a kendo stick. Listen, my boy, I did not raise that boy to do that kind of thing. I want him arrested. He needs to spend a night in jail because he needs to understand the consequences of his actions. You don't hear me hitting policemen with kendo sticks. They're just wearing gabardine. You can't do that with you hit them with that, and that's not gonna. He didn't hit him in the bulletproof vest. He hit him in the buttocks with the kendo stick. You don't do that to police. Just out there doing their jobs.
I mean, that's a pretty forgiving spot to hit someone, honestly.
I mean, but
in the
you
butt.
cannot assault an officer of the law. and get away with it. You are supposed to be a role model for the children, Cody. Me and my wife did not raise you to be like this. I mean, honestly,
I feel like that's between you and your son. You know,
this is what it's called, tough love. Because if your son gets arrested, you gotta just let him stew in the jailhouse for one night. Let him understand that he did wrong, because you can't be doing that kind of thing. That is silly. He should have thought better of him. We can't have that. Now, you know what? Now you're not allowed to travel. He can't go to Survivor Series. That's in California. The judge is gonna slap him with travel summonses, and he's not allowed to leave the state. He's got to stay in New York.
He can't go to.
He lives in Georgia. What's he gonna do now?
He can't go to which PLE was it again?
The Survivor Series.
Oh, okay.
It's in San Diego. That's in California. He's not allowed to go to San Diego Survivor Series. That's where the Padres play. He's not allowed to go there. The San Diego Padres play in the baseball field called Petco Park, which doesn't have any S's in it. But it would be great if it did, though. He's got to go. He can't go to Survivor Series. They're not going to let him travel now. He's a flight risk, is what he is.
It's true.
So the judge is going to have to throw the book at him.
I mean, he gets away with some things, that Cody, I will say.
He gets away with far too much, is what he does.
Dusty, anyway. I think the fog is rolling in on our show.
I think the fog is rolling in on everybody, and we're going to have to figure out what's going on. We can't stay here. I remember all the times that I would go into young Cody's bedroom in the middle of the night and say, the fog is rolling in. We gotta get on the road and go. We can't have the fog rolling in.
Told that part of the story.
Oh, it happened all the time in the South. When the fog rolls in, you gotta move. Anyway, I gotta go back to the great beyond, and we're gonna be done with the show now. So
avoid the fog. All right,
we gotta avoid the fog. There's lots of fog on a cruise ship.
On a cruise ship, you gotta
avoid the fog. Man, I gotta see if I can bail out my son, who's probably in jail.
He's probably running around in the woods with his sisters.
He could be. He probably is. Crazy boy. The fog rolling in and everything. Keep cool, gabagools.
Yeah.
Boy, can't go to Survivor Series now. It's a travesty.